But anyway, we stay on the ground level because we choose, because they have tricked us into thinking this is as far as we can go. But if we think about a Black Wall Street and all the other places where blacks came together and created their own community, their own economy, their own everything. So don't sit here and tell me you can't support a black-owned business. You can't sit here and tell me you see a sis out here saying, hey, I have a store, patronize me. At least go look. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. I'm a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, reposting videos with your community so we can grow, as well as putting a tip in the jar, shopping the merch, and picking up your copy of What's the Best That Can Happen at LonnieTaylorArt.com. Like, yeah, you can't tell me sis trying to create her own lane is something that you can't get behind simply because you see a sis out here working to create her own lane. Why wouldn't you support that? Why would you hate that? Well, we have literally created our own communities, and the people who will not support a small black-owned business, a small woman-owned business, a small minority-owned business, shoot, y'all's businesses over there, what are your white-owned businesses, whatever you call them, just a small business in general. Those of you who won't support a small business, but I'm bringing it back to the small woman, black-owned business, i.e. myself, you won't support me, but you will quote Black Wall Street. You will quote all of these communities and syndicates. That was in a movie I just watched. That's where that word came. But all these syndicates that they were self-contained. They were so self-contained that the white man came and bombed it and burned it and put it underwater and put it under a park. And you jog it every morning out there in Central Park. Like, that's how powerful we were. So when you see a small business and you don't patronize it, it's like you're not your ancestors' dreams. You're not your ancestors' wildest dreams, because your ancestors literally died for their communities, which consisted of other small black-owned businesses that they all supported and funded. Think about that. How can you pride and big up that, but you can't support a black-owned business on this end? Sounds like hypocrisy to me. And the reason why we stay on the ground level is because we don't understand that together we rise. Together we rise. And some of us are individually able to get out because they've created enough community within their blah, 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 to rise out. I don't know, I just made that up. It kind of makes sense, but not really. But what I'm saying is some of us get out. But I am demonstrating for you how to rise up out together. And those of you who are doing the work, whatever your up out is that you're intentionally working on, I am manifesting an entirely new reality for myself. So my up out may not be your up out. But whatever you have set intentions in doing the work on, you are rising with me. I am intentionally taking you with me so you understand this is how we rise. None of this is a mistake. And I've been hesitant to say these things because on the negative, you guys think I'm fooling myself. Who is this chick in the mom shirt on the internet who's saying that she gonna rise anywhere off of my back? Because that's the negative perception. You ain't helped me do nothing. That's the divisive lies that we believe. But by not saying anything, then I am keeping it. And this is the crabs in the barrel, right? This is why we keep stuff, because we don't want nobody else to know. We can't grow with that mentality. And I'm far from a crab in a barrel. But I can identify the crabs in the barrel, and they keep me from being great. They keep me from being great. Because there's a large percentage of our community that are crabs in a barrel that don't even think when you judge somebody else, you're being a crab in a barrel because you're measuring them against yourself and your standards for yourself, which you don't even keep for your spouses, but that's a whole nother conversation. But in judgment of others, you are a crab in the barrel because you are tearing them down. Someone gave me the analogy that we could either be crabs in the barrel where we're pulling each other down, or we could be ants where we will literally build a tower up and out and around the bucket and into the food source. We getting this or no? So yes, I want to be an ant. Y'all want to be in my colony? So the crabs in the barrel have had me reluctant to say what's necessary for my ants. And I'm talking to my ants right now. We must understand that together we rise. And we see that in the Black Wall Streets. We see that in the Rosewood keeps popping in my head. I don't know if that's a thing. I have to Google after this video. But we see that historically, together, we have risen. But we are so in competition with I don't know what that we will not help each other for nothing. But my ants will. And what I'm hoping is that maybe my voice isn't anti enough to sway you. But maybe my voice is anti enough to sway another ant in your colony. And then that ant can come to you and their voice is anti enough to sway you. But it is my hope to convert some of you crabs into ants. It is my hope to grow this colony, and as I rise, you rise. Trust and believe as I rise, you rise. Set your intentions. Do not take this time in your life for granted. Y'all out here think it's just about content. No. I woke up in February like this. She ain't me. And one day I'm going to wake up somebody else, and she's going to be gone. So let's enjoy her while she's here, while she is giving us this free game, because she's giving it to us. I'm riding this boat with y'all. I'm like, ooh, all right. Right? I'm going down this river with you. But I'm going with the flow for the first time in my life. And it's high time you did too. Stop being a crab and be an ant. And so by trying to keep this from the crabs, I have also kept it from the ants. And the ants deserve to know that I am literally manifest, whatever you want. Tonight I'm going to use the language, I am rising. You guys are elevating me. TikTok's not pushing me. There's no machine, no management firm has come to me and said, hey, we want to sign you. None of that. You guys are pushing me. So it's so vitally important that you all know how powerful you are. Because collectively, you guys are pushing me to the next level. And I am willing. True selfishness is selflessness t-shirt available at LonnieTaylorArt.com. I know that in my selfishness, in order for me to rise, I must feed back into you all. Because no one wants to give and give and give, and then they become an empty vessel and they feel used and resentment is built. That's not what this is. No. As you guys connect with me, look, you see this is not just social media. This is a motherfucking movement. Of that 1%, we rise. Of the crabs in the barrel, I've been afraid to say something because I don't want the other percentage of whoever, because some of you guys are watching me to watch me fall. The things that are happening in my life, I just did my first interview. You can watch it on TriniView on YouTube. I think it's TriniView. I'll also post mine, so I know that's for sure. You know, some pretty dope stuff is happening in my life, and I can acknowledge it.